right now on 5 on your side at 10.
A light mix of rain and snow tonight, then a stronger, colder winter storm on Wednesday.
Cooling things down in U City. We'll take you to the ice carnival that made its big comeback today. But first, a piece of St. Louis history goes up in flames in just minutes. New reaction tonight after we've learned someone died in that Central West End fire.
This is history. This is so much gone, and this is Bob's livelihood.
Thanks for joining us at 10 tonight. I'm Brent Solomon. Tonight, the St. Louis community paying its respects to a well-known puppeteer. A massive fire actually destroyed the home of Bob Kramer's marionettes in the Central West End last night. The Studio Theater has been a staple in St. Louis for more than 50 years. New tonight, we can report someone has died in that fire. We want to get right over to 5 on your side's Travis Cummings, who's live on Laclede Avenue. Travis, any developments around who died in that fire?
Brent, our crew was on scene this afternoon when the body was recovered from this historic building. It is unclear right now. It has not been confirmed by authorities who exactly it was, but it is presumed that Kramer himself died while his partner was able to escape. Now, at this hour, there is a growing memorial for the artist who lived inside this home and studio theater and who many say anchored the art scene here in St. Louis.
What we've lost is a cultural institution that was important not only to St. Louis and to the neighborhood, but really internationally.
A day after flames knocked down this two-story brick building in the Central West End, friends reminisce on the magic that came out of it. Flowers and pictures sit in front of Bob Kramer's marionettes, the studio theater and home of the renowned puppeteers who kept it going.
And then her mouth moves up in here.
Bob Kramer is still officially unaccounted for, but Saturday afternoon, a body was found in the debris. His partner, Doug Felch, is recovering from injuries suffered in the fire.
Hello.
The duo entertained masses with their crafted puppets for 5 decades.
They were the kind of neighbors everyone would want: kind, loving, generous, a committed couple professionally and personally.
The couple's longtime friend, Harold Carabell, says when the fire started Friday night in the studio on Laclede Avenue, Doug and Bob were upstairs in their living quarters.
And Doug told me they were watching TV. He and Bob were watching TV, and then they smelled something that smelled like a barbecue. And then they rushed downstairs, and then it erupted into flames.
Friends can only wonder why Kramer didn't make it out.
Bob and the puppets were inseparable, absolutely inseparable. I think he would have done what you described. I think he would have done it to save his beloved pets as well. So it's one possible scenario.
As crews work to knock down what's left of the burned structure, neighbors are sad to see such a staple in shambles.
It was sad to kind of hear everybody last night kind of reminiscing. Everybody seemed to have very fond, recollections.
But say the history inside should be a lesson.
And we just need to treasure every moment we're safe and alive.
The West Pine Laclede Neighborhood Association has created a GoFundMe fundraiser to support Bob and Doug. We'll have a link to that posted on the story at KSDK.com. We are live in the Central West End tonight. Travis Cummings, 5 on your side.
All right, Travis, thanks for that update. Tonight, St. Louis is mourning the death of former Alderman Thomas Villa. Villa died Friday after suffering from a heart attack. He was a lifelong Democrat who served on the St. Louis Board of Aldermen for 37 years. 8 of those years he served as the president of the board. Villa was also elected to the Missouri House in the 70s and 80s. Thomas Villa was 77 years old. Tonight, an investigation is underway following a fatal crash in St. Louis County. Within just the past 2 hours, 2 cars crashed on St. Charles Rock Road at Interstate 170. One person was ejected from one of those cars. Accident reconstruction is now figuring out how it happened. Let's go ahead and see if we can get a live look tonight over St. Louis Lambert International. Right now, a wintry mix is moving into the bi-state. Meteorologist Jim Castillo now with your weather first forecast. Jim, what can we expect here?
Well, we've had reports of light snow around Sullivan, excuse me, but, throughout St. Louis, we haven't seen much at all, and the temperatures are well above that freezing mark. So storm number 1 is tonight, and it's a very weak one. There is some light precip out there from sprinkles to flurries. Let's zoom into Kansas City. They're still at 35 degrees, still some snow around, but they've had no issues with travel problems. Now the satellite radar zooming into our southern counties from Iron and Reynolds County all the way through St. Genevieve and St. Francis County. A couple of snow flurries there. Nothing in St. Louis. And believe it or not, you get up to Lincoln County, it's a mix of rain and snow. Also Pike County. So the air is still well above freezing, and the expected snowfall from this system is expected way northwest of us or to the north and east of us, and maybe just spotty grassy areas in our counties. Okay, so not a lot expected, about a half an inch if you get that tonight into tomorrow morning. Then we're watching storm number 2. That's Tuesday night and Wednesday, and I'll have much more on that coming up in just a bit.
All right, then we'll see you at that time. Tonight, all 5 inmates who escaped from the St. Francis County Jail in Farmington Tuesday night are now back in custody. One of them was captured yesterday in Poplar Bluff. Today, the county sheriff's office said the 4 other missing inmates were located in Ohio. They are being held in Butler County, Ohio, waiting extradition. The other inmate was transported back to St. Francis County. Right now, the Illinois assault weapons ban is temporarily blocked. An Effingham County judge issuing that order Friday. The ruling only applies to the 850 plaintiffs listed in a lawsuit and 4 licensed gun dealers. They can all now buy or sell assault weapons. The plaintiff's attorney believes the equal protection argument applied best to this case. 5 on Your Side's political analyst says this case should eventually head to the U.S. Supreme Court.
However, when it comes to assault rifle bans, because there are multiple states who have them in place and there was federal legislation doing much the same thing, I would find it hard that the Supreme Court would say an assault rifle ban in itself is unconstitutional. So I think that's why they're zeroing in on the Equal Protection Clause.
A hearing on a preliminary injunction is set for February 1st. Well, today, hundreds of families headed over to University City for the 16th annual Loop Ice Carnival. Today was the first year to return since the pandemic, and new tonight, our Mercedes McKay captured all of the excitement.
Music, ice sculptures, and even some dancing took over blocked off streets in the University City Loop on Saturday.
It's always been a staple in the area. People really look forward to it. The kids absolutely gravitate towards it.
The annual Loop Ice Carnival was celebrating its 16th year after a little hiatus due to COVID.
We're really excited to see all the people out.
Ryan Griefor with Explore U City says the event has something for everyone, from 40 ice sculptures lining the streets to face painting to even a live ice carving demonstration. Not only is the carnival fun for everyone, Griefor says it also brings in a lot of extra traffic to the local businesses that call the Loop home.
It's a big flux. Like if you can see a 30% or 40% bump on a day like today, that's the difference between a good month and, a bad month.
Shantae Red started her customized clothing store in the midst of COVID from her apartment.
We were in the kitchen, and we were making shirts out of the kitchen.
Red just moved into the storefront on Del Mar Boulevard in October, so the timing of this carnival couldn't have been better.
I haven't seen these many people in the whole 3 months I've been here, so this is a great thing. I'm loving it.
While the beautiful weather may not have been the best thing for the stars of the show,
the ice sculptures probably don't like the fact that it's a nice, sunny day.
It's all about bringing the community together.
This is what made the Loop what it was the eclectic, unique, different styles that brought everybody down here.
In University City, Mercedes McKay, 5 on Your Side.
The Kansas City Chiefs beginning their Super Bowl run today, where fans in St. Louis watch the big playoff game.
I began to carry my 3 kids and my wife and my 3 dogs out one by one.
A flood survivor now underwater financially after his home and savings were swept away. Our I-Team investigates the problems an Ellendale resident is facing from the city. Well, the NFL divisional round of the playoffs began today. The Kansas City Chiefs began their run for the Super Bowl this afternoon against the Jacksonville Jaguars. 5 on Your Side stopped by Weber's Front Row in Webster Groves. The restaurant was packed with Chiefs fans, repping their red and gold, of course. The Chiefs ultimately won 27-20. Corey Miller will have highlights for you coming up in sports.
5, 6, 7, 8. Precision.
All right, Precision. They're a talented group of young steppers from across the St. Louis area. You're looking at the Family of Vision Showcase. Today, the young steppers showed off all of their skills at University City High School. This is a national award-winning step team that St. Louis is proud to call its own. The group performs for events all across the area, but today they put on a show to entertain their supporters.
These guys put their heart and their soul into it. We practice twice a week and for 3 hours, and we practice Saturday, but one of the things is we don't cut any young man. They come here and they put their heart and their blood, sweat, and tears into it, and eventually they become national champions at the art of step.
Stepping gives these youngsters something positive to get involved in while building their teamwork and competitive skills. This week, the step team will travel to Athens, Georgia for a step competition there. St. Louis will be cheering them on.
Doppler weather radar is showing a few light showers and very light snow showers, even around Sullivan. That has come to an end there, but we still have that chance overnight. Not a big system for us, but the second one coming Tuesday night into Wednesday. More on that coming up.
Tonight, a St. Louis veteran is pushing for answers after historic flooding in the area cost him his home. Now he tells our I-Team he's getting the runaround from city officials. Our Paula Vasad investigates.
This is home.
It was 750 square feet.
But Andrew Schaefer and his family
It was a 2-bedroom.
can't live here.
This is all the construction material that was purchased.
They can't rebuild.
You're looking at probably close to $25,000.
They can't leave
I mean, you can see it literally time stopped.
because they don't know what their home is worth.
The city says that it's worth $88,000. I have a VA appraisal. Veterans Affairs says my home's worth $150,000. So which is it? We're in a holding pattern, and that'll bleed my savings dry.
5 months ago, his neighborhood of Ellendale was underwater. He and his family
This is the inside of my house.
barely escaped.
I began to carry my 3 kids and my wife and my 3 dogs out one by one.
Show me, where did the water go up to on you?
It was about up to here.
Now he's underwater financially. He doesn't know if the city of St. Louis will buy his home. Flood buyouts happen when areas are considered too dangerous to live.
We were not given all the information.
Do you feel the city has misled you?
Yes.
His problems don't end there. He says a St. Louis building inspector told him he could fix up his home. Soon after, another inspector from the same office told contractors he hired to stop work immediately. And here's what's left.
And the city inspector, who threatened those guys with arrest, came by and actually called the police on me to have me arrested for trespassing on my own property.
That's just wrong.
23rd Ward Alderman Joe Vaccaro says over a dozen homeowners in Ellendale have reached out to him about the same problem.
The people over there are having to rent homes. They're making house payments. A lot of people over there could end up actually in bankruptcy court.
City officials tell our I-Team they need $1.8 million in federal funding for at least 20 property buyouts in Ellendale, allowing residents to relocate to places with lower flood risk. Our I-Team also learned the city is only allowing some people in this flood-prone area to rebuild if they raise their homes by several feet, per federal requirements.
I believe the city's going to make it so cost prohibitive and put so much red tape in everybody's way that there's no way you could rebuild, even if you wanted to.
I'm grateful that Channel 5 and that you guys are looking into this, because these people seem to have gotten lost in the system.
Desperate for a solution.
The city needs to step in. We either need to buy those houses out at a fair price and move on. You know, if it takes an ordinance, I'd be happy to sponsor that ordinance.
National research shows if flood buyouts do happen, it can take up to 5 years. This means people like Andrew Schaefer go through their savings and often into debt. I reached out to the city of St. Louis for their buyout plans. They tell me they're working on getting federal funding. No word yet on timeline. For the I-Team, Paula Bassan, 5 on your side.
Paul, I know you'll follow it for us. Thank you. We've got Jim Castillo standing by now with your weather first forecast. Jim, another chilly day. What, highs in the 40s today?
Yes, about 44 for that high, but plenty of sunshine, so that popped us a little bit above the average, which is 40. And 22, that average low is 23. So we were pretty close to that today, a little bit above for that high. But Brent, we have some chilly air coming in and a little bit of moisture. So it's 38 degrees, well above freezing. And of course, with the sprinkles and snow flurries coming through the area right now, we haven't had any problems with that. Just like Kansas City today, temperatures there well above freezing and still some snow in that general direction. Also, you get, whether it's the batch of rain mixed with snow to the south right now, or it's the break in the rain right around and also snow in Washington. Then you get to Troy and Bowling Green. It's been a mixture there too. Not expecting an issue. Look at these temperatures as we head throughout the night. Above freezing until we get to the morning hours. And then maybe some of that snow in eastern Kansas will come our way, but it's expected to be very light as we head into the morning hours. So not a big problem with that at all either. So potential snowfall. You might on the grassy areas in spots outside of the city get to a ½ an inch, but we're not expecting any travel issues. Now that next storm, there it is. We're going to watch this low develop in Texas, and it's got almost that classic track that it's when we see it kind of move just to the south of us through Memphis, we get a little bit more colder air. It taps into the Gulf of Mexico, so we have a chance of seeing more accumulating snow, but it doesn't look like at this point a monster storm for us, but some accumulation is looking more likely. So we'll keep our eyes on that and fine-tune the forecast over the next couple of days. So Wednesday, it is an orange weather alert day, may become a storm alert day, and that's one of our coldest days at 34 with snow expected. And then as we head toward the end of the week, we warm back up again. So it's up and down, up and down.
All right. Thank you much, Jim.
Yeah.
We'll be watching for that snow. We're also watching for sports. Corey has it covered for us.
It was a busy day in the sports world. We had some fighting, we had some dunking, and we even had some cornholing with the Battlehawks. Stick around. Sports is coming up next.
The Sports Desk is brought to you by Jim Butler Chevrolet, the Midwest's #1 Chevy dealer, 10 years running.
January has been a good month overall for the Blues. They haven't climbed into a playoff position just yet, but there appeared to be a trend. The homestand has gone well, and the lowly Blackhawks are in town tonight. Time to keep the good times rolling. Or not. The Blues face rookie goaltender Jackson Stauber making his NHL debut here in St. Louis. And they played from behind all night long. Jordan Binnington, he was pulled early, but it's Ivan Barbashev who sparks things to make it 4-2. And then he stayed hot with a great scrap. Barbashev would finish off the Gordie Howe hat trick later on this goal from Nick Leddy, his first of the year. 1-goal game in the third. But that's as close as it would get. Max Domi makes it 5-3, and that's how it would end. Another slow start against another bad team.
It's got to be better, to be honest. It happens quite a lot when we play against the teams that in the bottom in the league. Happens every single time, and we just got to be more prepared.
It was already going to be a tall task for Mizzou today against number 4 Alabama, but with Kobe Brown pulled out of the game just before the tip-off, it got even harder. Mizzou Arena was rocking at the start. Isaiah Mosley to Aiden Shaw for the alley-oop. Mosley had a breakout game. He tallied a game-high 19 points, but the same problems showed up again for Mizzou. They went 3 for 28 from three-point range. Yikes. Bama capitalizes because they're number 4 in the nation for a reason. They pull away and get an 85-64 win over Mizzou.
We didn't shoot the ball well, missed open shot after open shot. There's some positive within this game that I do see that I would like to carry over, but I am proud of our group. There's no doubt about it. One game doesn't define us.
Blue hosted LaSalle at Chaifetz Arena today, and there's Mr. Chaifetz himself sitting courtside with Cards manager Ali Marmol. Francis Okoro had a monster day, finished off the alley-oop from Yuri. He had 12 points and 20 rebounds. This was SLU's leading scorer today, though. Sincere Parker dropped 20 points off the bench. Bills win 84-71, and coach liked what he saw from his sharpshooter Sincere off the bench today.
We've got a few options off the bench that have been playing better when maybe some guys are not playing their best within a given time of a game. And just really happy with that. You know, it's kind of like last two games, just kind of hung in there. And next thing you know, we win by 17, 18, 19. And
I have absolutely no idea how well this new incarnation of the Battlehawks will do in the XFL. If you're looking for a guarantee, though, there's no chance any other team in the league has more excitement than we do here in St. Louis. The Battlehawks flew into town from training camp in Texas today for a meet and greet with the fans at the Armory. They played some cornhole, posed for a few selfies, and signed autographs for the Cacaw faithful. It was a packed house and certainly will be for the home opener at the Dome on March 12th. And the players cannot wait to represent our town.
It's one of the reasons why I chose to come here and play for St. Louis and then be a part of what Coach Beck's building. So, listen, I think this place is going to be special.
It's going to be bigger than what I expected. So, yeah, I heard that it's only going to be one level opening. I don't know if that's going to work for these fans. You might need to go ahead and open the whole dome for these guys.
Chiefs and Jags divisional playoff round, and I could hear the nervous Chiefs fans all the way here in St. Louis after Patrick Mahomes exited with an ankle injury. In comes Chad Henne. He finds Travis Kelce for the touchdown. But there was good news. Mahomes returned to the game. He finds Marquez Valdez-Scantling for the score. Mahomes was limping around, but he and the Chiefs are good enough to beat Jacksonville today. KC moves on with a 27-20 win.
And that was a good game.
It was a good game. Right here on 5 on your side.
That's it. Thanks for joining us, my friends. We hope you have a great night.